Hey everyone, Greg here. As you may know by now, I'm the co-founder and CEO of TripShock, an online reseller for water sports and tours. For the past 12 years, we've had the pleasure of working with hundreds of operators across the country, and we're looking to grow our community. It's free to sign up, and you only pay when we bring you confirmed bookings. We'll help you reach new customers, fill empty seats, and grow your business like so many have done with us over the years. Head over to partners.tripshock.com to learn more about our program, read testimonials, or speak directly with our supply team. As always, thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 70 of the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. Today, we're going to be joined by Marica Brewster of Von Mack out of New Orleans. Von Mack is a marketing agency for the tour and activity industry. And on the show, we're going to be talking about best marketing practices when your business is in high demand. So we talk about your business needing more bookings when you're slow, but what about when you're really, really busy? What strategies might you want to deploy to get the most out of your marketing? But before we begin, I want to allow Marica to give a little introduction of herself and Von Mack.
Thanks, Greg. Hi, everybody. I am Marica Brewster, as Greg said, with Von Mack Agency. We're based in New Orleans, but we service worldwide. And we really, really like to revel in everything tourism and experiences, from branding to strategy to digital campaigns and beyond. We are a one-stop shop for partners within the tourism industry. So happy to be here.
Holy fuck. Let's unwhite this a little bit, guys. You're killing me. That was all way too fucking professional. Man, you're killing me with this. Jesus Christ, man. Let's loosen up. Marica, I need you to, I know you're in New Orleans. Get a fucking drink. Greg, whatever weird shit that you fucking do to loosen up, I need you to do that. Okay. Let's loosen up a little bit here, guys. Seriously. Marica, I got 2 words for you.
I'm scared.
Fuck yeah.
Never heard that one before, ever. Oh my God.
No, have you ever heard a drop of sea, or bitterness or beloved or wanted child? You've never heard that?
No. Are you talking music?
No, those are all the things that your name means when you look it up.
Oh, okay. It means a lot of things, actually. I stopped looking it up a long time ago. So thank you for looking up my name, actually. Very funny there, Kevin.
I thought I was going to be a little charming. I was like, should I not say fuck yeah? Because I know you've heard that 1,000 times. And then I thought I was going to be like drop of C. And you're going to be like, oh, he knows. But then it's also a variation of Maria. Yeah. Yep. And I think you were a scenester. You were a scene girl, weren't you?
Oh,
I knew it.
I knew it. Is that even a term anymore? I don't even know.
Do you like Nick Cave?
Is there a scene?
What's the difference between a scenester and a hipster?
Hold on, Greg. Wait a minute. No, she's not a hipster. Don't be rude. That's rude. No, you like Nick Cave, right? You're a Nick Cave fan?
Yes.
I don't know how I knew that. I think you referenced. Then you referenced the death metal thing too. The death metal vegan when we were in San Diego.
Yes, the restaurant, which we never got to go to, but that's fine.
Yes. No. It's so I have to do some kind of research on some people sometimes every once in a blue moon. So I'm like, I got to learn. So 8 minutes, Greg actually stopped me from doing a little bit of research for you right before the show. But I saw you had the bangs. You had the short bangs. There's a picture of you back in the day. And then you have the old 50s style. So my wife is also a scenester and she has the whole 50s style now. But back in the day, she had her scenester haircut, a death metal. I used to be a scenester. Don't let the tattoos fool you. I didn't go to college. I was in a metal band. So NOLA.
So basically what you're telling me, Kevin, is that you went through all of America's photos on Facebook.
Did
you go way back?
To the first one.
To the beginning.
I clicked on America's first. No, I did. I went back to the first one. She went to high school at. No, I was just I'm like, man, I got to learn a little bit about some of our guests sometimes. And
have you guys ever done a deep like? You know what a deep like is? Have you heard of that term? When you are going deep into someone's photos and you like it, but you don't mean to.
Oh,
I did that.
I've absolutely done that. Yes,
I've done that a long time. Yeah, this was maybe a couple of years ago, and I was looking at a girl that I dated back in high school, and she just popped up on my feed. I'm like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. I mean, we're always curious, so I'm going back. And I liked a photo of her in college. She's a mom with 3 kids, and I didn't mean to. I just was trying to see what she was up to because she married one of my friends in high school. So I'm like, God damn it! And I don't know the guy really well, so she's gonna see that, and it's just gonna be really awkward. But nothing ever came out of it. But I'm sure the conversation at the dinner table came up.
Just please, I never get this. I never get anybody that like knows the music that I like. So what other bands do you like? What other like are in your heavy rotation? Come on, let's go.
I feel you're putting me under pressure right now. I mean, it varies so much. I mean, it can go from crazy, NOLA rap from, 20, 30 years ago to, I don't know. We've talked about this, the Goths, Susie and the Banshees, all of that stuff. Gogol Bordello. It has whatever it is has to be really raw. So
not on the show we haven't. So I want to get some like, I bet you're like Alkaline Trio. You were probably listening to like, no, you weren't listening to that like punk rock from like, how old are you, America? You're young. You're like 29 or something, right?
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. I'm 29 years old. No, I'm 40, but it was a lot of Gogol Bordello. I've been listening to a lot of Grimes lately, so that's definitely not death metal. I go into my phases. I mean, once you're 40 years old, you go into lots of different phases throughout your life. So I mean, it started out with like the 80s goth with Susie and Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy, and then it would evolve into, Trent Reznor. I'm very, very stereotypical in terms of 90s girl, Trent Reznor, and Elvis Costello, all that stuff. And then it'll evolve into Nola Bounce, Big Frida, Across the Board, all of that great stuff. And then, now it's just kind of weird experimental stuff. So I don't know. It depends on my mood, really.
Do you like the Revivalists?
I do. Do you?
Hell yeah. They used to come and play in Key West all the time, man. I love the Revivalists. There's another New Orleans band called Morning Glory Freedom. I think that was their name, but they were really unknown. But they were really weird. And my old band played with them in Detroit, but way back in the day, and they were really cool. And that was like my first introduction into New Orleans. And I lived in New Orleans for a long time. So when people like ask me like what I love about New Orleans, because I love the music. I love the culture of New Orleans. So I love the music. The first time I could go see like a jazz band at 3:00 in the morning, get a fucking decent sandwich somewhere. I'm from Detroit, like Detroit's got its own culture, but you don't get like jazz at 3 a.m. in the morning, good food. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in love with this town. So anyway, I want to dip a little bit into the America culture before we get into the soft sell and the marketing and all this fucking shit. Cause everybody's smart, dude. Everyone's listening to shows knows what's up. So America's a marketer. She's the founder, CEO of Von Mack. And we are going to talk about, what are we talking about today? Again, what do we do? What's the lesson?
Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break to talk about our sponsor for the month, the Von Mack Agency. Von Mack is a full-service digital marketing agency with a focus on tour and activity operators. They offer it all. SEO, websites, pay-per-clicks, logos, content writing. If it's online marketing, they got you covered. As we mentioned before, it's uber important to hire an agency that understands our industry. And the Von Mack Agency knows watersports. Trust me.
And they do all the shit that you don't want to do. They do all the shit that you're probably not very good at, and they are. Look, for listeners of the show, Marica herself is giving a free consult, all right? If nothing else, give her a shout, give her a call, take 30 minutes out of your day. More importantly, take 30 minutes out of her day so she can get you straight on your marketing needs.
That's right. What do you have to lose? Head to vonmackagency.com and go to the Contact Us page to get started. Again, vonmackagency.com. And most importantly, let them know you were sent by the AWG guys. All right, let's get back to the show. We're talking about best marketing practices when we're in a high demand period.
Oh, okay. There you go, Greg. Fucking let's dry it all up. It's get fucking boring. I'm just kidding. Nick Cave and Bad Season Nola, man. It seemed like a good intro. I was really excited about that most, but let's talk marketing. Let's talk fucking money. How we get people's money.
America, you and I had a conversation earlier today about this topic, and I'd like to just kind of walk us through. When you're talking with your clients, we're in the middle of summer, they're crazy busy. And they're going to America and they're like, okay, America, do I dial my Google ads down? Do I, dial back, my socials? Like, do I have to invest so much into marketing while we're still busy? And then, one of the things we talked about was, does Disney World dial back their marketing when they're at full capacity every day in the summer? Absolutely not. So, what are some things that you talk with your clients, or strategize with your clients when you're in these situations?
Yeah, well, you guys know with regard to tourism, especially, okay, things are crazy now because of this COVID environment, so they're a little bit more fluid. But by and large, and historically, and moving forward, there is something called peak season and non-peak season, and then there's even crazier things called shoulder season. So basically, what I'm talking about is, peak is when things are maxed out and the competition's really heavy, and you're really basically just stealing from one another and optimizing and maximizing the amount of seats on a tour or in a tour slot, as much as possible. You want to kind of spread out your inventory. But then you have non-peak season where you're just looking for everything. And then the shoulders where you're kind of either going up into peak or coming down for peak, and you really want to spread that out. What I say is never, ever, ever, ever pause during any time. You definitely want to keep something going. You want it to be fluid. You want it to build. There are definite benefits to doing so because you have opportunities when things are at peak, right? So you're going to think, oh, okay, well, I'm making all my sales right now. Why am I even spending any money on marketing? I've got this. But you always have to plan for a rainy day, as we know, especially in watersports. And you always have to make sure that you are top of mind because you have to think future forward. You can never, ever, ever rest on your laurels just in business. And marketing speaks to that, in my opinion. So, when you are busy, and when you have sales, this is the time when you can really work on your optimization for your digital and your website and look at behavior and really see how people are behaving and interacting with your brand and how you can get them to that point of sale even more quickly or to super early tour times or super late tour times that you would normally not be as busy for. You can also use this time for cultivating community and social media and really just kind of banking on those reviews and those images and, all of that great content that you can use moving forward. And then upon everything, you can use this for cross sells and upsells. So, if you are selling, you're great, you're going crazy because you're worried about your logistics. This is where you have a lot of clout and you can say, okay, well, I can go to this person I've always wanted to work with or cross sell with and say, this is what I have. You partner with me now, for the future. And so there is opportunity that arises from that. But if you pause what you're doing, then you are throttling back your voice future forward. And that is pretty much the opposite of marketing 101. Yeah.
Hey. So, question/comment. And with this sort of like mindset, right? So not even like necessarily like maybe like, so I think some people are going to get the idea that like, hey, like let's shut off our advertising. And I'm definitely still guilty of it. I'll shut off ads actually in peak season. Like when we are sold out so far in advance, then I'm like, man, I shouldn't be, spending money on, and I'll still die on that hill, throttling back my ad budget when I'm sold out for the next two. Your glasses fell. I'm sorry. You don't have video. You didn't see your glasses. They might fell. They went sideways. I love this shit. I'll throttle that back a little bit, but the whole point is not, it's not just sales. So if you're busy, you're not even answering your phones. It's like they're ringing off the hook. Like keep in mind that even though that you don't have the sale, Marica, what would that end up reducing down the line?
I mean, your weight, your voice, your brand, right? I mean, I feel like if, first of all, if you were advertising and you're doing marketing, it shouldn't just be in your geo. It shouldn't just be in hyperlocal. You should be planting the seed for your key feeder cities or your regional driver, what have you. That is a longer time in terms of conversion period and higher up in the inspirational funnel, right? So right. If you pause it across the board, you're pausing your future brand. You're pausing your future top of mind value. And that does nothing when, you go into, I don't know, if it gets super cold or what have you, if you come back to the time where you're really going to need it, you're not going to have all of that banked moving forward.
Well, I think there's probably different campaigns that you would keep on, and some like Kevin makes a point. He sold out for, 15 to 30 days in advance. And a lot of those campaigns might be very transactional, like boat rentals in Destin, right? Especially if you tier your ad groups from national to local. Maybe that local ad group for boat rentals in Destin or boat rentals in Myrtle Beach or whatever you're at, maybe those are the ones that get scaled back or even turned off because those customers are primarily looking for next 7 days and you're sold out for 7 days. So that's one way to throttle and kill back, some of these campaigns that are not gonna, you're already full, like people are already in town. I don't know. Go ahead, Kevin.
My point that I was going with that a little bit was too, is that if, let's say you're not getting these sales or the calls are coming in there and you're sold out, or you're getting a looky-loo in the off season, right? So a lot of people are calling in like January and December. They're not looking to book. They're looking to get information. They're looking for free value, and that's costing you money. But you have to keep in mind though, that absolutely their contact information can go into your CRM, and you can use that to reach back out to that customer to follow up. And this over time, not in 12 months. It could be in 12 months, but maybe 2 years, 3 years, you build your database and you reduce your cost of acquisition. While the phones are ringing, there is something still there to get from those people, which is their data, their information, their email, their name, whatever it is that you're going to write down about them, or you can write it on a piece of paper. And next time they book, you're like, oh, hey, yeah, I talked to you back in December. If you're an owner operator, just one boat guy, and you got the phones and you're driving the boat, or you're doing whatever, like I keep notes on people. I keep like dossiers. I put notes in our booking, everything. So when they come down, not only does this reduce the cost of acquisition, it furthers the customer experience, because it's not just another name and number. You're like, oh yeah, you're from Wisconsin and we talked back in December. Come on, and I can pass that along to my team, and they can make that a much more personal thing, which is also going to reduce the cost of acquisition because they're going to remember you.
So 2 more things to add on to that. That was excellent. So the first thing is, if you pause your ads in Google, you're going to lose the history. If you have things running and you have that historical value, as opposed to a brand new campaign, or, you're going to have your ads are going to show through a lot more readily. Your cost per click might be lower. History does matter. In addition to that, cost per acquisition, cultivating that community and all that data. To speak on top of that, if you can use your social especially to get engagement and, create that retargeting audience, those are good for a year, sometimes more. So that between that and Google Ads, if you can send people to your website, if you can get people to interact with your content, then you're cultivating this retargeting audience that you can create lookalikes from in the down season. So that's where you never stop. I feel like you never stop running. You always have to make sure that you're planning for that, whether or not you're spending money towards it or not. You have to continue to cultivate that for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of like knowing what your marketing budget is, and knowing what your percentage is, and knowing what your points are. Like depending on what your cost of acquisition is, or the percentage of each sale that you're making, like you do have some type of off-season budget. I'm not going to give away my ninja secrets. I definitely keep on some things, not everything, but on some things. I keep the gas down, and it was the first thing I noticed when I got here is some guys had such things on their website that said, closed for season, no click through on their website. You couldn't get any information, like literally fucking, hey, oh, you're interested? That's nice. Go fuck yourself, Paul. I'm closed. We're fishing, gone for fishing until March. And I'm like, oh shit, man, this is giving me 3 to 6 months to fucking catch up on you. And so just keep in mind that when you're reducing your costs, there's an intent, there's a loss there, there's breakage happening.
So a couple things too. When you're sold out, you should also be using that, like Kevin said, using as an opportunity to database these. So example, let's say you're sold out for 7 days and a customer comes to your website and they're like, oh crap, they're sold out. It would make a lot of sense to have some type of form that says, fill this out and get on our wait list or wait list. So you're going to get their phone number, email, whatever information, and maybe get some basics like I'm looking for this boat, parasail, whatever. And now they'll submit that. There's a very small chance of them getting a booking, but it solves there's 2 things it's going to help you with. 1, you got that customer's information. And 2, if you do have someone cancel last minute, you do have someone's number to call. I don't know any services off the top of my hand, maybe you two. I know some reservation softwares have waitlist functionality, but that's something that I can see. That you can try to, make something of these customers that are sold out.
Well, I'm sorry, I was going to ask, and this is like a little bit off subject as far as like the whole thing, but there are some softwares, some res tax do offer this functionality, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just something. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I've had reservations top of mind, like ever since arrival. Since I got pitched by like every single res tech on the planet, I've been like, maybe there's something better than Fair Harbor. But anyway, yeah, guys, stop being a bitch. It's not that much money, like you fucking shut up. Oh, no, ever shut off all my ads. I'm terrible. Like, but for us, peak season is it's so crazy in this market that it's like, I mean, realistically, if you shut your ads off, like your phone just from the organic sales it's never going, their phone will not stop. If I shut my ads off, you wouldn't know the difference between my ads were on and my ads were off.
So Kevin, do you shut down your national campaigns as well, since these are people that are booking further out?
No, we'll leave our national. We switched over our marketing agency that we used last time. And so we're experimenting with a couple different things. We're going to be changing some stuff around. But no, I think like running national, and I think actually we did run national. There was like during the off season, sometimes I don't go fishing. Everything stays running. It just like smashes into a wall. I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop paying attention to everything. And
yeah, just from just Trip Shock's perspective, we do, if we have no product for certain categories locally, since we split our national and local campaigns, we do shut it down. There's just no point because they're in town. If there's no product while they're in town, then I'll throttle it way back where like I'm only going to pay like a tenth of what I paid prior. If I get a click, it's great, but usually it works well. But at the same time, sometimes it's easier just to shut off. But America make a good point. If you just shut things off for 7 to 14 days, our campaigns are using the targeted CPA bid model, so that if there's no data in 2 weeks, there's no clicks or anything, then it has to relearn things again. So to shut it off completely, I don't do that unless like the product is not going to come back for a long time. We don't have, let's say a boat breaks down, it's my only product in that category, I might shut it down. But I try to just minimize the bid offering. Instead of offering $20 for the customer, maybe I offer $5, which wind it way down.
So really quick, Marica, can I ask you a couple quick questions about Von Mack? And for all transparency, Von Mack sponsoring this show. So I do want to like talk about your agency a little bit. So you guys are full service. I mean, I know you said that like incredibly fast. You speak really fast, like possibly fucking faster than I do, which is pretty incredible. But definitely, and you might be as loud. I don't know. We might be like competing for decibels here. I'm not sure. Anyway, you guys do PPC management. You guys do social. Do you guys do SEO?
We do SEO. We do brand management. We do strategy. We do everything from e-news. Newsletter template design to, analyzing open rates, things like that, coming up with plans, launch plans, everything across the board. We create websites, we launch websites, we host websites. I'll try to slow down talking. No, I won't. Everything we do, I do work to acquire clients that need help across the board, because it is very difficult when, you're doing a campaign and it's just a silo, it's just social or just Google Ads. There's limitations as to what you can do. People definitely search across mediums, across platforms. There's behavioral, behaviors that you have to look at digitally and across the board to make sure that you create an action. So we work really well when it's, something that's layered in and something where we can come in as your full service partner.
Do you guys do like any content creation too?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. We do that a lot.
For your customers. So you guys do like videos and photography and all that cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. Yeah. I stumbled upon your agency some years, like when I first got started, just out of dumb luck. I didn't know anybody here. I was just looking for a marketer. And I remember seeing like at the time, I didn't have any, I was doing all my own, running everything myself, doing all my own pay-per-click management terribly, by the way. If you want to lose a lot of money, make some money, have a decent budget, run that shit yourself. see how quick you fucking burn through that motherfucker. I'm like, holy shit, I burned through $100 in 20 minutes. That was really incredible. But yeah, I stumbled upon you guys, and that's why I asked, because I remember seeing like you guys had like a package with photography and this sort. She sponsored the show, guys. But as we said, the most research I did on Von Mack was I stalked I stalked Marica's, I almost called her America. I stalked Marica's Facebook page. So don't think that this is like me, like, hey, what else do you offer? Oh, wow, that sounds great. Like, we ain't getting sponsored that much, folks. But I remember stumbling upon your site, and I remember thinking, like, first, the name was so fucking regal that I didn't think I could afford an agency called Von Mack. I thought, I was like, dude, these motherfuckers market for like kings and princes and knights and shit. But yeah, I saw this package and you guys did like everything. So I thought that was pretty interesting because typically a lot of marketing agencies do not offer creative as other than like ad copy, but don't offer as the content creation as part of their packages. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Thank you. And anyway. had you called, we could have discussed Nick Cave. We could have talked bangs. Would have been fantastic. But yeah, so, you know, and I know how you spoke to packages, and we veer away from packages, but we do offer everything across the board. We will bundle things, and, you know, where we really relish is just ideation. And, you know, we think of ourselves as an idea house. We love tourism. Most of us have worked in tourism. So, you know, it's not where you're going to catch something off the shelf and it's like, do this, ABC. You know, it's like, this is a, you know, full source solution. And, you know, we're coming in with these crazy ideas, whether you like it or not. We're from New Orleans. We're the crazy idea people, you know, and it's a joy in what we do. So, yeah. Yeah.
And how about tourism tea? Are you still doing that?
That ended. That was, so that was last summer. We followed that with the Reels Challenge. So that was what followed. Those are our campaigns. So what we do, in speaking to being an idea house, is we practice on ourselves. We look at these up and coming, you know, things that are happening, whether it be Reels or whether it be Clubhouse or whatever it is. And, you know, because I have the freedom of not having investors and, you know, doing everything myself, I'm like, let's give us some room to play. And so that's where we learn what we're doing. And, you know, we come, you know, obviously we have degrees and all of that, but we definitely want to, you know, feature forward as well. So, yeah.
Well, we're coming to the end of the show, but I kind of want to get a final conclusion from both of you on, you know, just thoughts that we can leave our listeners with for things. So we talked about, you know, throttling your ads. We talked about creating different, you know, local and national campaigns. So that way, when you are sold out, you can at least keep your cut the right customers coming to your site that are looking to book in advance. So I just want to get some final thoughts from you that we can leave it to listeners that they can maybe take some actionable, you know, take some action on.
By and large, I would always say, you know, segment your campaigns, whether it be geo or whether it be by intent or what have you. You definitely want to segment them by, you know, high intent, lowest hanging fruit, you know, and then higher in the inspiration tier. Whatever that is, make sure that something's running. Make sure that you're forward thinking. Make sure that if you're going to cut something off, that you have a plan for the future because it's going to bite in the bud later on.
You know, look at all the biggest brands out there, Disney and Coca-Cola, and I mean, Budweiser. I mean, they're not stopping their advertising just because they've reached a certain pinnacle.
Yeah, so I want to tell any operators that are listening in Destin, what you guys want to do is fucking go full board, like December, January, February. And because all the fucking, you know, like in the on season, they're calling anyway. So just reduce your ad budget way down in June, July, August, and you're going to fucking kill it. Anybody listening to anywhere else in the country, do the opposite of what
do not condone that advice at all.
America, how can people get in touch with you and Bud Mack?
Absolutely. They can go online. We're at vonmackagency.com, VONMACK agency.com, or they can email us at hello@vonmackagency.com. Also give us a call as well. Phone numbers on the website, but we would love to hear from you.
And they don't just market for kings and princes. They mostly do us lowly water sports people.
We will make you feel like royalty, I suppose.
Nice.
Well, America,
thanks. Good job.
Well, I appreciate everyone listening today on the show. And as always, keep it awkward.